Welcome back to another edition of the B4evaKool podcast. My name is Rex45.
My name is TJ with Two Wheels and Coffee.
What's going on, man? How are things?
Enjoying the weather up here. You know, Mother Nature is raining. It's hot. Getting heat waves before summer. But, you know, it's bike season. This is the time we're out here.
Right. Yeah,
Take it all in.
it sounds like I missed the weather by a couple of hours getting on that plane yesterday. So I'm happy that my flight was a little delayed, but nonetheless, it's nice to miss bad weather conditions. Unless you're a farmer, I guess you might want some rain.
Yeah, you was moving at the right time, right place, right time.
It doesn't.
It was good that you came into Boston, but with the schedules being so busy, I missed you. You was in and out.
Yeah, man, it was a quick trip, man, and next time, because I think I'll be back up that way in a few weeks, but I don't think it's the same round as Loudon. I'm trying to match it up, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't know what the July round is, but it's probably like mid-July. But you know, it is what it is. It's nice to be back. It's a quick, it's a quick turnaround. I came in last night. We're doing the show now. In a few hours, I'll be jumping in my truck and heading to Barbara for the first time. So excited for going to Barbara for the first time. You know, I still got some mechanicals I got to deal with on the KTM. So I'm going to be wrenching when I get there. So that's the downside, but it's part of racing.
Never been to Barbara, but I'm sure that's going to be an awesome track. I mean, I know you can't wait. It's going to be a fun time. But yeah, a lot on the schedule. So hope you get there clean slate. Everything is in order.
Yeah, we'll see, man. You know what it is. You can only we can only deal with what the universe gives us. So exactly. I take it in the moment and adjust as I need to. But yeah, it's a new track for me. So and I haven't really. I mean, I've seen some videos and stuff like that, and I've watched some Motor America races. So I have a little bit of an idea of what the track is like. I'm gonna at least try to get some videos in Friday night. And then, Saturday we'll do practice. So I have all day on Saturday to kind of get, familiar with the track and stuff like that. But, it's one of those things where, for me, when I go to a new track, it's more of, just learning the track and just, it is a competition. I'm, in I'm only racing in two classes. And, one class I'm tied for first place, another class I'm in second place. So, there are some points that I would like to gain and all that fun stuff, but at the same time, being realistic that it's a new track. It's really just learn the track, and by the end of the day, I'll have a rough idea where I am and stuff like that.
I realized going to a new track, watching a video on it helps a little bit, but it don't do no justice. Like when you get to a track, everything is like obviously more wide open. You see more and inclines and I don't know, it's just a little different, but new tracks is always good. Get that leader to follow, get a track map, and then
go from there. Yeah, I will say this about new tracks and watching videos. One, yeah, it's good to get a clean onboard video, right? Regardless of whatever class or speed or whatever bike it is. But the other thing, what I learned is I pay attention to like the tree lines and stuff like that, right, and try to use those as marker, because when you first look at the video, you don't pay attention to the elevation changes and stuff like that. But once you realize that, you got to look for that stuff. I try to find, like I said, stuff in the background that I can use for mark references and stuff like that, which helps a little bit. But nonetheless, there's nothing like going out there and being on a track, obviously. But there are little tips and stuff that you can do to kind of make it easy and stuff like that. See where corner workers, or if there's a flag booth or shed or whatever the case may be, things like that. You try to figure out, because the first time I did that and I went to Roebelin, I was just like, oh, there's elevation changes. It's not a flat track,
Yeah, I went to Palmer, and it was my first time, and I watched the videos on Palmer, different bikers, and when I got there, they were like, oh, today we're doing it backwards.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
mean,
That kind of, I mean, that's kind of
yeah,
tough, man, because you got to kind of have to forget everything that you just you saw.
just watch everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. But like you said, nonetheless, watching a video give you like a little reference point to like how many corners there are, just a little rough idea. But it's nothing like getting out there. So
no
hope you
doubt.
enjoy.
Yep. And before we jump into it, I just want to thank all the folks that are subscribing and commenting and liking and all that. We definitely appreciate it. Continue to do that, because the more you do that, the more we get to do what we do here. Like we mentioned in the last episode, we do have a discount code for fullgasproducts.com. Go to fullgasproducts.com. Use B4evaKool 10 as the promotional code and get a discount. Those folks over there will definitely hook you up. If you go to our website as well, b4evaKool.com, you can connect that way as well. So the good things are coming down the road. So definitely keep it locked. Speaking of coming down the road, man, we didn't really talk about the WCR last show. But what a couple of races, right?
Yeah, man. I was really excited to see like how they were fight against each other, and we did see a lot of that, and then it was a good weekend for them. It was good to see. Now we know like for the first race, who the strong females are, who
Right.
the fighters are, who cuts under dive bombs and all good stuff. So
Yeah, man, it was kind of wild to see. I thought it was going to be closer in the beginning, but after race one, it was pretty clear. Like it is. I think there are four top riders. Maybe five in there. Obviously, Anna Carrasca and Maria Herrera. Um, she obviously Maria won both races, and they're really quick. I mean, it helps that they're in Maria's in Moto E in the MotoGP series, and Anna Carrasco was in Moto 3 and World Superbike in the 300 Super Sport series. So I think those two riders had a little bit more experience with the quicker pace and stuff like that, and coming up to speed and just dealing with the world stage in general. But what a battle watching them two on the track going back and forth.
yeah, we're going back and forth, and the last couple of laps, it was just like they were rubbing paint. It was just a good sight to see, and Maria wasn't winning the last couple of laps. She took her charge and took the win. But yeah, that it's cool to see that they're up front, and it shows the experience. Versus the other lady riders there.
Right.
Like you said, coming from Moto E and Moto 3, you just see the experience.
Oh, for sure. And Sarah Sanchez, who finished second in the second race, really get no, I wouldn't say give it to Anna, but definitely had the better, obviously finish than she did, because she finished second. And there's Beatrice as well, who finished fourth. I mean, the top four right now after the first round are all Spaniards. So that's going to be interesting. We'll see if Rossi bring more Italian females to the academy to bring it up. Although Roberta in fifth place is the first Italian. So. It's fun to see. It's cool because it's the R7s as well. It's also nice to see that bike on a world stage. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Italian bikes. I'd prefer to be a Aprilia RS660. But nonetheless, it's good to see that bike on a world stage, because that twin class in the U.S. and probably in BSB and other countries is a fun class to be in. It's not as aggressive as the middleweight class. But you're still going a lot quicker than if you were on, a KTM RC390 or a Ninja 400.
Yeah, I mean, I like the series how it's going. I just wish maybe they had a couple of different color waves so you can notice them a little better, and they're all riding the same exact color,
Right.
same number color. So, but other than that, it's lovely to see.
No doubt, no doubt. And there's rumors that as we move on from that, also there was one rider I do want to talk about her.
Oh,
She crashed
yeah, right.
in the first race, and it was red flag. Mia Rustin.
Yeah, Rustin.
And she's still in the hospital, but she's back in Norway, and so we wish her speedy recovery. From what I've read, it sounds like she's gonna make it out of it just fine. So it's always difficult, and that was well over a week or so ago now.
Yeah, they said that she was still in a state of a coma, but like all her vitals are good. So that's a plus sign. But wish her the best, and we don't want to see that. But I guess she was flown back home and to get more care. So
yeah, it's always nice to be home next to family and stuff like that. So unfortunately, that is in motorcycle racing, when you go down, it can be pretty hard. There's no way to sugarcoat that. But they have the best equipment out there that you can have. So that's the beautiful thing, and the safety in motorcycle racing gets better every year.
yeah, I agree with that. They're always looking into safety and gear, all that, corners. I mean, even not to jump to MotoGP, but they changed a few track layouts just because of the safety from the MotoGP side. But yeah, so this is the biggest stage, and we want to make sure the sport is safe for everybody, no matter what type of incident.
Right. It's good to switch over to MotoGP because, as I was going to say before we talked about Mia, there's rumors of Toprak moving to MotoGP for 2025. I don't know if you heard about that. I don't know if you got any connects over there that you can, hit them up and see if any of this stuff is true.
I mean, I don't know. I heard rumors of that a couple years ago. Yeah, last year when he was thinking about Yamaha before he went to BMW. So I mean, rumors are rumors. I guess.
Right.
They ain't
Yeah.
got no plugs to figure that out though. They did. I don't got no World Superbike hotline.
Not
Like,
yet. Not yet. We're working on it. That's going to be the next
working
thing.
on MotoGP's hotline.
There you go. They rumored Ducati and Yamaha, and I can't really see Yamaha because he left Yamaha, right, and went to BMW for a good amount of money. Also, I mean, I believe he has a 2-year contract with BMW. So I mean, it's hard to think that BMW is just going to sit here and say, okay, you can go to MotoGP and you don't have to worry about the second year of your contract.
Now that'll be all right. What team is Toprak on again? Sorry, I don't have
BMW,
it up.
BMW. Factory.
No. The factory or the manufacturer.
It's I'd have to look it up. It's not Bonovo. Bonovo is the satellite team.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So I'm just thinking Bonovo. That's what it was. They're discontinuing after this season.
Correct.
So to have Toprak to just go jump to MotoGP, like how does that leave BMW sitting in World Superbike? So like that rumor is like a little weird, especially if he's on contract.
Correct. Unless there's an option in there. I mean, he has an option to say, hey, if MotoGP come calling, I'm out, and they sign to that. But because I mean, you think about it, in 2023, they were trying to get Furman Aldeguer to come to MotoGP, and the team boss for Furman, they wanted too much money to buy him out of his contract, and so he ended up staying one more year in MotoGP, in Moto2. So I like I said, I mean, it would be interesting to see what happens if he came into MotoGP. Obviously, it's still going to take him some time, I think. I mean, sure. Pedro Acosta came in and been able to be the top guy on the KTM as a rookie. But I don't know if that's the case for everyone. And don't get me wrong, Toprak is a top rider. As you saw how he rode the Yamaha last year, and you see how he's riding the BMW this year. I'm like I said, the last show, I'm ready to put my order in for a BMW. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know exactly how that's going to work for him. Obviously, I don't know if he had the opportunities before to go to MotoGP with Yamaha and just decided not to because the bike wasn't up to par, or he just didn't have the opportunity at all. But I think if you have the opportunity to go to MotoGP, I think you're going to want to take that opportunity. So if it's a rumor, he'll be on World Superbike next year. If not, some guys have made that transition coming from World Superbike to MotoGP. Carl Crutchlow is one of the latest guys now, a test rider for Yamaha. Obviously we see it in Moto2 with Rory Skinner and Jake Dixon and these guys that come over from BSB and stuff like that. But that's usually you're coming up in the category in the MotoGP, Moto3, Moto2 kind of thing to get up there. So it'll be interesting to see if he does go. If he does, who again, when we talk about other riders from Moto2 coming up to MotoGP, like who do you get rid of? I mean, I guess it's safe to say that not safe to say is not the right word. Augusto Fernandez maybe going to MotoGP. So that may be a possibility, but he's already lost the seat, so it's not like there's an available seat. And let's jump into Bezecchi going to the factory seat for Aprilia. That's a huge deal. So that does open one seat for the VR46 Academy to jump in, but Morbidelli might need a seat if he doesn't stay with Pramac. So, I think VR46 is going to be loyal and give Morbidelli that seat over Toprak or someone else.
Yeah, I was also going to say, don't you think Toprak wants to win a championship again before he leaves, or he's just like, if I have the opportunity and the money speaks itself, I'll just take it. And just seeing someone coming from World Superbike and I'm in Moto2 trying to fight to get a seat, and he just gets it. Not saying that easy, but it's just like, okay, like you said, you want to work your way up from 2 to 3 to MotoGP. But yeah, I think Morbidelli deserves the seat, over Toprak right now, because where else is he going to go? They're going to swap. He's going to go to World Superbike or something like that. But yeah, I think Toprak wants to win another championship, I'm sure.
And I do believe that this year he could win it after seeing him so far.
Exactly. On a new manufacturer and everything, why not try?
Yeah, I mean, he's leading the championship right now, and Alvaro and Bulaga and Anoni, Petrucci, Lowles, both brothers. Like, he's the guy to beat right now. So he just got to keep riding the way he's riding, and everybody else is going to have to catch up. And we'll see what happens in the next round, because the Ducatis couldn't catch him. And before, Alvaro could just chill out and the last 8-9 laps attack. And, we're seeing that that didn't happen this past round. So at the beginning of the season, I would have said Alvaro's going to win one more, right? But after seeing what he's doing on the BMW, it's his to lose. I mean, he did a hat trick, right? I mean, what are you talking about? Four rounds in. So,
I do watch. Let's say Garrett Gerloff is, a favorite rider of mine that's in World Superbike. So I do watch some of his videos. Mm-hmm. He was talking about, like, he's tried Toprak settings, and basically, the long story short, he's just like, I don't understand, like, how he's doing what he's doing. Like, he's just an amazing rider, and I think, like I said, he's doing stoppies first couple races at the end. He has that full control, and it's something that he has in him that he's figured out already on this bike.
Right.
Like I said, it's his to lose. I think he's just sticking around to win that championship.
Right. I will say this. To me, and it does look like he's riding the BMW like the Yamaha. He's still sliding into turns, kicking out the rear when he wants to turn. So to me, that's how he's still riding the bike. So he's riding the bike and he's riding a bike and sliding into a lot of these turns. And, go ahead.
I'll say, well, that's just his riding style. He made the Yamaha look good that way. But
and you'll
it's
see
just the way he's going through his turns.
Yeah, and you'll see like Alvaro do it occasionally. You'll see like a Noni do it occasionally and stuff like that. But like I don't want to say he's doing it for every lap, but like when he's out front, and I guess he might be having fun. He it's like he's on roller skates out there, you know what I'm saying, just sliding the bike around, and it's awesome to see. And so, yeah, I don't know how Redden or Gerloff or maybe Vandermark might be close to doing it. I don't know. You're gonna have to start practicing that, right? So and it's one thing to practice it; it's another thing to do it in a race. So even if he practiced this year, what? When do you think they can start doing that? At the end of the season?
3 years from now, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna just go down here. Let me just try to drift a little bit." You like think no,
yeah.
It's kind of one of those things that has to come,
right? And the BMW has the horsepower where the Yamaha didn't. Before last year, you saw him, passing Alvaro, but then get passed back because he couldn't pull away. You know what I'm saying? Now he can pull away. And now, I don't want to say he's doing like what Pecco did, but he's managing the time. Once he pulls out front, he's managing that time. And you know what I mean? And so and he's not making a lot of mistakes or any that I can tell.
And for a great argument, everything we're saying, like, that is MotoGP quality, but at the same time, like, the scenarios that's going on, I just don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you there. So I guess we'll find out. I mean, let's continue on MotoGP. What are your thoughts on Bezzecchi, signing with Aprilia? Did you see it coming? Did you think it would have been Bastianini or someone else?
Actually, I seen it. I figured that's a good fit for him. I mean, I actually didn't know, but like, if I had to guess, he would have been one of the riders for sure.
Okay.
But I mean, I give it up to Rossi, man. He's getting all his guys into factory seats.
All of them. All his guys had a factory seat. The only one that hasn't held on to it was Morbidelli. But I think he'll be back. And he's riding really well. I think by the end of the season, the guy's going to be, even before then, because he's top 8 and he just doesn't have the same amount of time on the bike that these other guys have due to his accident and pre-training and stuff like that. So if he doesn't stay with Pramac, like I said, I do. Bezzecchi's seat is open now for him for next season on the for the VR46 Academy team. And from what it sounds like, it doesn't sound like Rossi is going to go to Yamaha for bikes for 2025, maybe 2027, because they do have that relationship, Yamaha and VR46 and Rossi. So, and especially in Moto 2, there it's VR46 Yamaha riding school or academy or whatever the heck it's called. So they are synonymous in Moto 2. So but obviously the Yamaha is not a competitive bike, and I assume Rossi, as a team owner, wants competitive bikes because obviously, sponsors and all these things matter when you have a competitive bike. I mean, I think if I'm not watching his money or anything like that, but I think if he was in a little bit longer, it may be one thing. But finishing in the top 10 on as a satellite team is pretty good.
Man, yeah, I think he deserves it. Not to jump to Rossi, but his resume is really good off the track right now. So from what he's done, he's made a difference in this sport. If Yamaha's not working out for him, sure he'll be able to get another manufacturer to keep the team going.
Right.
I'm not sure what he's probably looking into. Was it Ducatis?
Who's that? Rossi?
Yeah.
No, I think he's staying. I believe he's staying with Rossi. I believe Rossi is staying with Ducati for 2025 and 2026.
Okay.
Right. And the talk it may be Pramac going to maybe using Yamaha bikes, but if Ducati factory is not saying let's cut down the team to 6, if I'm Pramac or Rossi's team, why would I go to Yamaha unless Yamaha was, making a deal that they couldn't refuse,
I mean, this is a big deal coming up too, because like in a few years, the bikes are going to be changing styles. And Ducati team, they're obviously trying to win it. That's for the setup they have. Getting Mark and Pecco. So yeah, I think it's really important for Rossi to establish this team. I mean, not establish, but I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Continue to build it out and do what's best for the for the organization, right? And but I think at some point that he will switch over to Yamaha. Because like I said, when he does his track days and practice with the private group practice with the VR46 Academies, he's on a Yamaha. He's not on a Ducati. So, clearly they're probably going to go back to that at some point. And maybe when the 850cc engine comes out, maybe they move over then, because in theory it's going to be a level playing field because it's going to be new for everyone.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because like I said, like if you want to win, so the setup right now, I mean, it's good to have his team going to factory seats, but you want to have a good team and you want to win. So when it comes to moving to the 800cc bikes, obviously it'll be an even playing field. I think Yamaha would be a good fit for him because, like I said, it's an even playing field, and I'm sure they know more than we do. So.
Right.
They know like new products coming out, new setups, and all that good stuff, and all the technology on that side.
Okay. So, we are doing a poll question on our YouTube channel. And the poll question of the week is, who do you think will win the 2024 Asen GP? Before I give you the results, TJ, who do you think is going to win?
Well, we already know. Excuse me. I'm going for Pecco this time. I've never chosen Pecco to win a race, but I'm gonna go with Pecco.
You might have been on the page, because
actually was not on there.
70% of the people.
Last year Athens was a crazy race, especially at the end.
Yep.
With Brad Binder getting a penalty, just being on a little dotted line, like it was a fun race, and it's another high intensity track, but I'm a root for Pecco.
He does have a tattoo of Asen track layout on his arm, so
it's one of his favorite places.
So that might be it. 70% of the people that voted chose Pecco Bagnaia. 12% of the people said Ania Bastianini. 7% said Jorge Martin, and 11% said Marc Marquez. I mean, So I mean, if you're a betting person, you know what I'm saying. It sounds like Bagnaia, is going to do it. So with all that's going on in MotoGP right now, where do you think the Alex Rins of the world is going to end up? It sounds like Zarco is going to sign up for another couple of years and probably retire at the end of 2026. Where do you think these guys are going to line up? Should Rins already be signed with Yamaha? He's already won on two separate manufacturers. I believe he's doing better than Quartararo in the standings. I just want to double check just to make sure I'm saying the right things. What do you think about that?
You're absolutely right. I mean, I don't. Sometimes I don't know what the holdup is. Obviously, no one wants to rush into any decision, but for his statistics, and I mean, I just hope it doesn't have to do with the injury that he had. But he should be signed already, at least to Yamaha. I think Yamaha will be a good fit for him.
Right. I completely agree. I'm wrong on that. I guess after the last 3 rounds, I think Quartararo pulled away from Rins in the standings. But it was close.
Out last race, one of the last races. So I'll probably lost some points, but I think he should stick with Yamaha. who's like who are they gonna be looking for? Like who I don't know. I think Rins is really good. Like I said, he's won on Suzuki. He's won on Yamaha. I mean, he's won on Honda. Uh, and I think he's won races on Yamaha. I'm not sure yet, but
No, he hasn't won on Yamaha. He's won on Honda and he's won on Suzuki. And so,
yeah.
so it would be, we'll see. The year is still early, so give it time.
Yeah, it's been a big shakeup. So man, he might be on a Ducati. Who knows?
That is true. That is true. It is possible he could move to one next year. I mean, right now, one of the Pramac seats are open. Both Ducati seats are open for the VR46 Academy. Although I do believe Di Antonio will probably sign back with Rossi's team. Because he's doing really well. There's one seat open for Grassini, maybe two, because Alex Marquez is also not signed back yet either. So, there is, still like 5 seats available.
Well, it's the seat he's on is a factory bike, and I'm sure Yamaha's like, all right, can we get a better factory rider than Rins at the moment? Maybe they're still just trying to weed out what's going on and who's left. But no, they don't want to slip and have someone sign him quick like Martin went to Aprilia.
Right. Yeah, I
think he should stick with Yamaha.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, again, I don't think it's an issue for him. I think it's Yamaha signing him. It doesn't, what I mean, from what I can gather. So hopefully Yamaha will do the right thing, because he seems to be riding the bike really well right now. And again, it's his first year on it, third manufacturer. So it's not always an easy thing to be switching bikes like that either.
And, not for nothing, but what do you expect him to do? I mean, Fabio has been ringing that bike out and not getting that far.
Right.
And, I mean, what do you expect him to do? I think they should just sign him and figure it out as a team.
Yeah, exactly. I think sign him to a 2-year deal, and just, because when he's healthy, when the bike is more competitive, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't mind having Alex Rins piloting that bike, because he's proven that he is a very skillful rider. You know what I'm saying? He's up there. It's, he's been injury prone a lot, which is the downside, because you don't really get to see his skill set like that often. Not often, but consistent through the year. And from that leg accident he had last year, it sounds like he's still dealing with that this year. So there's a lot of that. So we'll see. But there are a lot of seats still open. So who knows what will happen? And the cool part is it's been must see TV so far. Right. So I'm looking forward to this weekend in Asen. Granted, I'm going to be racing as well. So it's I'll be consuming a lot of motorcycle racing this weekend.
Right. When I started watching MotoGP, that was kind of the year that Alex Rins was just crashing out,
right?
Kind of drawing Mir and Marquez last year in Honda. But when I saw his skill set, when he started winning, you're like, this dude can ride, because I was always, Joan Mir type of guy. I like his helmets, I use his helmets, but Alex Rins was probably the better Suzuki rider.
Right, exactly.
And I think that he's due for one. So even on this Yamaha, I think before this year said and done, he's going to be on the podium. It could be 1, 2, or 3.
Right.
I think he's due for one. So root for that. And like I said, we got Athens this weekend. We'll see. At the last round, I think Rins crashed and he was a little limpy getting off. So I hope he's recovered a little bit. They had 3 weeks. These guys are superhuman. So
right.
I'm sure he's close to back to where he wants to be, not fully recovered, but we'll see how it goes.
No doubt. So who's finishing second if Bagnaia is first?
Come on, Mark Marquez. Martin. You know what's gonna happen to Martin? He's slipping and falling for the rest of the season. Hopefully that's not the case.
No, it's not the case.
But
yeah, and before we wrap up, we haven't talked about Martin. I don't know how often you've given your notice at a job, your 2 weeks notice. This is like I don't know what, like how many months we got left? Like a 5-month notice?
Yeah, like I don't know. It's this is like something that's a story that can be written to see like how this plays out.
No,
Um,
no, yeah, because
like you said, it's an early notice, and you still got a lot to fight for. You know.
right, but and there's animosity, right? It's not like it's who can I? It's not like it's what's his name there, Bezecchi going to a factory seat, right? This is you on trying to get a factory seat on a current bike you're on, and and you've done the job. You know what I'm saying? You're literally, boss, I've done the job, and you're gonna hire the new guy that just came in over me. And even though the new guy's stats are better than mine, none of that. That's all. But my stats are no slouch either. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm leading the championship. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? What is that going to look like for the rest of the season? And the same thing with, Vinales, right? Because, again, I mean, in Vinales' case, he's over to KTM, so I think it's a good look. He had control over his future. It's a little different, but it's kind of like, hey, you didn't talk. Here's a situation again where team boss didn't talk to the rider that's doing better in the championship this year than Elise.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Martin. Like, I just don't. He's gonna have to like. He's gonna have to put it down for the rest of the season. Like, I don't know how you look. If I go in, it's gonna have to be professional all the way through. Still, I mean, they're gonna have to be professional. Going into every round, they like you said, it's like giving it 2 weeks, and you can feel the tension. You don't want that tension to build up and have it drown out the season.
No doubt. But we shall see. And definitely, that's the good thing. And we'll get to see firsthand this weekend in Asen to see if these guys are true professionals and they're just going to come in and act like nothing has happened for the rest of the season. But I'm looking forward to this weekend. Before we get out of here, let's shout out your sponsors.
Hideaway RV Rentals, Woodcraft Technologies, Official Vortex, and J&G Performance helping me out all through all my bike seasons.
No doubt. Go check them out, folks. I want to shout out and also remind folks, fullgasproducts.com. We got a 10% promo discount with them. It's B4evaKool 10. All one word. Shout them out because they're going to be sponsors of the show for the whole season. We're excited to do. I've already bought the parts from them and stuff like that. So to continue to build that relationship. So definitely go to fullgasproducts.com. Also, Workbench Tech for all your IT needs. Go to workbenchtech.com as well. And last but not least, HamdenYard.com. Get your gear. Get fresh for 2024. My name is Rex45.
My name is TJ with 2 L's and coffee. I got that website up. I'm about to check it out.
There you go.
Put in that discount.
There you go. Peace.
Peace.